Hello, from welcome to Things to Invest. We talk about investing, finance, and professionalism for today's items only. The investment I'm going to talk today will be Ethereum TKTH. It's my second post on today. Respect to recording time of 2:15 p.m. on the Eastern Time. Ethereum currently trading $4,078, down about 5% so far. On the overall crypto market, we can see clearly, beside ALGORAND, which is currently up about close to 15% so far, the entire market, including the equity market, is leaning more towards a downward sentiment so far. With respect to the bond yield, seems to be spiking. And this is something that, whenever we hear that affectation across the market, it's a triangulation between the job numbers, the asset purchasing, obviously with the bond yields, and some of the COVID variants news that we're also hearing so far. Seems like the cases are still percolating. There are still some areas for us to improve upon statistically. That there's still some uncertainty around the economical outlook going forward. So with this kind of a bearish negative sentiment across the market, knowing the fact that the equity side, we've been running relatively hot in terms of the overall index, and also with respect to crypto, it also has been dragging up for the last 50 days so far. So the market collectively just been looking for a reason for us to correct, right? And I think, are we in like a bearish downturn, like a correction or like a crash? I would say not really. I think we're just normalizing because we've been leaping up so much so far that it takes some time for us to cool off, for the monetary circulation to replenish back into the market. So this is just what I would call a buying opportunity. The market is still on a macro perspective in the bullish momentum, but in the near term, obviously, we need to have a slight correction, replenish the momentum all over again, and then sustain the rally going forward from here. So with respect to the beside the macro market, let's just take a look at the Ethereum related news so far, right? And apologies, I think my voice is a little bit more nasally right now. I feel like I'm just it's like I'm wearing a mask on my face, my entire face right now. I don't know if you understand what I'm trying to say. Like the feeling that you get, you you have like a smog around your face. Maybe I think I have a cold or something like that. Yeah, it seems like the weather in New York is just it's getting to me, and maybe my work and work-life balance might be a little bit not the most ideal so far, right? I do try to get my hours of sleep. I do try to go to bed like around like 10:30, 11 p.m. every night, and I wake up around 7, sometimes like 6:30. I try to wake up as early as possible, but I try to get in the recent time I try to get as much sleep as possible. Historically I used to wake up at like 5:30 or 6ish because I would try to catch up on time, right? Because I feel like a day is really, really short. So I try to, extend my sleeping pattern a little bit more, but it seems like that's not really helping. And also some of my friends has been telling me, like including, some of my family here on the YouTube channel, suggesting that I should get like a humidifier or like some sort of a vapor, in the house because I do sleep next to a heat. And I do not sleep with my mouth open, but I guess like breathing throughout the night, it can dry up my sinus, which subsequently make my throat really, really dry when I wake up. That I feel like I have like a sore throat or like just swallow a spoon of salt or sand, if you may. That dries up my whole entire sinus. So sorry, going off topic. Let's just dive right into the news. So with respect to the first one on Market Watch 1 hour ago, talk about Bitcoin linked fund from ProShare logs the worst weekly ETF performance as crypto price slumps. So this is something that we're seeing so far, right? We've been down about, I think for Bitcoin, about 16% from the top right now. And I would say it's comparable to Ethereum as well. We're down about close to double digits right now, right? I think 20% for Ethereum, 16% for Bitcoin, and then some other altcoins are a little bit more severe as well. So obviously with that correlation, it will drag down the ETF, which is obviously linked, to the crypto index, right? So nothing to be surprising about. It's something that basically reminding us what's been happening. The next one's a Bazinga about 2 hours ago. Talk about just another one of those like transfer wallet exchange news. 57 millions of Ethereum was just transferred between two wallets. Again, nothing really substantive in terms of affecting the market dynamics. This is just another news talking about a big number that was transferred from one wallet to another, but doesn't mean that whales have been selling 57 million worth of Ethereum. It's just a transfer, so nothing really important about this, right? The next one's on Bitcoin is about 2 hours ago. Talk about Real Vision CEO Raoul Pal. He expects that Ethereum to rally 300% from here, right? So in this depiction, in this article as well, he didn't really specify like what he's really talking about with respect to this 3x return on Ethereum. I think he predicts, he doesn't really say a timeline either, but he says like based on the historical trends, right? If you got to look at the Fibonacci levels historically from the last surge that we've had, it should technically translate into a 3x of return from here, right? So technically, it should technically translate into $12,000 to $13,000 for Ethereum if the Fibonacci levels from the historical surge is going to, basically translate into the future predictions per this Raoul's analysis, right? So again, this is speculations, right? Right now, I think it could be possible, right? But we have to see how the technical will shake out, right? Right now, we are still, leaning more over bearish pressure, but I think the dip is very imminent. We are at the 41 out of 70. So we know like the 35 or below 35 is like the technical indicator of when we're being oversold, right? So I think the bottom technically should be somewhere around like the 3,450 to 3,850 from here, just based on the level of, descending, de-escalation, if you may, right? So after that, we should recuperate to sustain the rally all over again. And Bitcoin is going to have some elements into it, right? So technically, if we're going to hit $12,000 for Ethereum, Bitcoin should technically translate the same comparable level. I'd probably not like 3x from here, but probably like maybe 1 to 2x, from here would be very possible just based on the historical Fibonacci levels, right? And the next one's on Barron's about 2 hours ago, talk about Bitcoin falls as Congress try to tackle cryptocurrencies. So this is something that we've been hearing so far, right? That the with respect to the infrastructure bills on the tax provision, that's one of the initiatives that the U.S. legislative arm is trying to be enforcing, right? We also have heard the crypto bill that has been initialized by Don Byers and Janet Yellen, right? It's been trying to work on the stable coin initiatives as well. Just all try to tackle 360 degrees on any regulatory or compliance infrastructure around cryptocurrencies. So, with anything along the line with regulatory dynamics, it's always just it's always a headwind to investors because with regulatory dynamics, it means that there is some potential marginalizations on the profitability that you could be taking in because of tax, because of commissions, because of just any regulatory restrictions, right? And also, this is kind of counterintuitive to the mantra of crypto assets, right? Crypto assets supposed to be decentralized, right? We should be having full transparency, but for them to try to enforce something upon something that is frankly counterintuitive, it just doesn't quite make sense logically speaking, right? So this is something that is still quite puzzling to me. But when you're hearing something along the line, the government stepping up, and also the Chinese crackdown on the mines, having the regrettable consequence, if China as a communist party finds out respective corporations mining crypto in China, it will be some regrettable consequences, like based on what they're saying so far, right? So who knows? But I think right now, based on the technical, just purely based on technical, is a dip right now. So I would look out for the dips that is imminent and for me to further build on my position that I have in crypto. And next one, let's talk about on Bazinga again. 2 hours ago, talk about whales love Shiba Inu, and this basically talk about some of the wallets that they are noticing so far that someone actually holds about $2.36 billion of Shiba Inu in their wallet. Wow, that's a lot of coins in the Shiba Inu. It seems like they're selling off right now, down about 7.32%. So we'll dive into the technicals in a bit. But it seems like there's a lot of appetite around this crypto asset. The next one's on Bazinga 4 hours ago as well. Talk about Hello Kitty NFT are coming from Recur, RECUR, backed by Gemini, Gary V, which is Gary Vaynerchuk, and Ethereum co-founder Joe Lubin. Hello Kitty ETF, EFT, not ETF, NFT. Oh my god, I'm losing my mind. Sorry. So it seems like there's some animation NFT commercialization backed by some reputable investors in this space. Again, it's a Hello Kitty. It's a picture of obviously Hello Kitty, the animation. Quite interesting. It doesn't really say how much it is or how much are they willing to pay for it, but it seems like there's some market activities around this asset, around this specific art piece as well. Wow, my throat is really killing me right now, man. Can I even do videos like this anymore? Like I feel like I probably need to go see a doctor or something. I don't know if you could hear the voice difference, in comparisons to like days ago to today. I feel like I'm like sounding more and more like nasally and like dry as I speak, even though I'm drinking a lot of water on the side, but I feel like maybe I just have a huge inflammation on my throat or something. So anyway, that's the news front. So let's just dive into the technicals right now. Right now, we're down about 5% for Ethereum right now, and we are, as I recall, let me just double check again, we're at the 40 out of 70. So as we hit down to the 3,850, I think that's a logical level to incur some risk on. As we hit to the 3,450, I will incur significantly more risk on. So I think these are the levels to buy the dip, right? And I don't foresee us to go further down to like 3,150 because that will completely be oversold at all levels. So I think this is good because we're forming like higher highs in terms of the resistance levels. So with respect to Bitcoin, we're at the 58 right now, which is basically matching with the current level that we've had before. And the next level ideally would be the 55 if we break the current level. And I think it's logical because we're at the 40 something right now. So ideally dollar cost average somewhere around like at least bare minimum 54 to 48 to 43 from here. Dogecoin right now, again, buy the dips at somewhere around like the 22 to the 20 cents from here. Cardano, right now is a good dip. We are the 34 out of 70. So this is a dip, right? 170 was a mega dip. I hope that some of you guys actually incur some risk around this level. It's not a bad level to incur some risk right now for Cardano. So I think Cardano is actually a buy in terms of technical front right now. Solana is still selling off, which makes sense. Ideally, we're going to sell down to like the 130 all the way to the 113 from here. XRP right now, we are at the 105. So I think right now is the dip. I think 101 to 105 is a very good logical level to incur some risk right now. Polkadots right now, I think ideally buy somewhere around like the 33 to the 25 from here would be the logical level based on current setup. Algorand, I will hold off. Again, right, whoever bought at somewhere around like the 160 to 152, that was the dip, right? So hopefully some of you guys actually listen or have been listening for the last 2 weeks so far that this is the level that we should have technically incurred. So right now, we'll probably stay away until we normalize back down to normal. Shiba Inu right now is up down about 7%. So we're going to keep sliding off the escalator down all the way to 2750, all the way to the $900 level. So respect to risk management level, these are levels that we've identified so far per the technical analysis. As you can see, we are closing in on some of the level of identifications that we've identified here for your risk management, right? So hopefully this is helpful, and apologies, for stumbling with my words and and obviously my voice is a little bit lower today. I probably need to go see a doctor or something. I just don't know how I can keep talking like this without losing my voice completely. But really appreciate you for dropping by, and some of the notes that you have also sent me as well. It's very kind of you. But yeah, hope you guys start incurring some risk. Start thinking about allocating some cash reserve on the side to start dollar cost averaging. I think the dip is coming, so these are the perfect times when we should be incurring risk, not the other way around when we were running all-time high before, right? So hopefully this is helpful. Really appreciate you, and stay tuned for come up. Take care.